I guess like starting off with kind of thinking back to the darkest time of my life. I'm taken back to kind of my early adolescent years, like 10 or 11. That's when I first remember feeling what I now know was feelings of depression. But of course, at that age, I didn't know. I just had this like overwhelming sense of sadness and this heaviness that it didn't make any sense. I didn't understand it. I had a very vivid memory of being on vacation, which you think as a kid is like the best. But I remember, being at the ocean and just looking out into the water, and I just remember thinking in my head, like, what is wrong with me? Like, why do I feel like this? But I still didn't feel like I could ask anyone for help. Like, I didn't really know who to turn to. I was raised in church, and I'm very grateful for that. I feel like that gave me a firm foundation in knowing God and knowing what Jesus did for me. But into my teen years, as I grew older, I kind of just strayed away from that. I'm not really sure why. And when I was 15, I felt like I hit a point where I needed to deal with it in some way. And that's when I started cutting. I built this sort of character, like on the outside, I was like super outgoing, always laughing. I was a cheerleader, pageant queen, like student council. I had friends, and I thought, okay, well, if I can look happy on the outside, maybe I'll start to feel happy on the inside. As time went on, like the more I tried to look happy on the outside, like the deeper I fell into the depression. It was my second year of college. I feel like I just kind of hit a point where I didn't care. Like it just all was becoming too much. It was exhausting, and I just felt like I couldn't keep it up anymore. And so there's one particular night, I was out with my friends, and I remember that day just thinking, something's gonna happen tonight. I don't remember a lot from that night, but I ended up cutting really bad. And my friends found me and took me to the hospital. And I was admitted to the psych ward. And my secret was out then, and it was shocking. Looking back now, I think what would have made such a difference was having a church family. Having people that could have surrounded me and prayed with me and just like guided me through that time. But I didn't have that because I wasn't going to church. And it wasn't until 2013 I had moved to a new city to start my career, and I started going to a new church. And I remember like every Sunday, like worship, I was a mess. Every song I was just like bawling. It just it like wrecked me in the best way possible. And I started going to a small group. The leader of that group just like saw something in me that I did not see in myself, and I was just able to like totally open up to her. My eyes were opened up to this life of like joy. Like I saw these people around me, and I was like, this is what I want. Like these people are genuinely happy. And I just remember like completely surrendering. I don't think I'd ever done that. I just remember saying like, it's like, your will be done. Like the dreams that I think that I want, the life that I think that I want, like I don't want it. I want whatever you have. And that fall, I ended up meeting my husband, Matt. And we've just created this incredible life that I just could have only like dreamt of when I was younger. And I know it wouldn't have been possible without surrendering myself to God. The first step is the hardest. Like it's not an easy thing to do, to ask for help. But making that first step, it really it kind of all flows after that. But that first step it's hard. I think the thing about the church is just that there's just this sense of caring and love that you're not going to find anywhere else. And, if you were to come forward and talk to a pastor and say, I need some help, like I'm struggling with some things, like that's it. That's all you have to say. Like you can type that in a message. And And just that can be the first step to like just the biggest change.